You are looking live at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, 30 stocks. Big deal, right? Hand selected. Anyway, it made a new high on Monday and it got rejected like Matambo here at the 38,000 level today. But still, very bullish, trading near new highs. And, it's 30 stocks, hand selected. So it's, I don't know, it's not an index that I really follow. The S&P I do follow, not closely though. It's, traded at a new high on all-time high, I should say, on Monday, 4868. Today, 4866. So it's just bumping up against new highs there. So that's 500 stocks, a little better representation of our stock market. And so people ask me, why is, those other indexes making new highs and our Nasdaq is not? Well, there's like 3,000 stocks on the Nasdaq, and this has some of the junky, biotech that trades at $2 stock. So, yeah, it does have the Microsoft and the Apple and the, Facebook and Amazon, but it all has some junky names, and it's just got more weight, a broader index. So yeah, it hasn't made a high above the 16,212, but it could, it might. Just give it, a little time here for it to catch up. It could definitely pass the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 as far as above their old highs. So just give it some time here. I'm optimistic. I'm bullish. Today, it was up 65 points or 0.43% and closed at 15,425. The volume here slightly ticking lower. Investors being more cautious ahead of some really important earnings reports later on this week and next week. So you can't expect fireworks every day. Okay, I'll get to the Russell. I know you just can't wait to get to the Russell. Little pullback today. Still looks good though. If I go to the weekly, you can see that it had a nice bounce here after 4 weeks lower, bounced off a moving average, and still looks good, up 1.64% for the week. So not bad. I'm going to go to stocks. I'm going to try to go a little quicker today because there's a lot of stuff to cover, even though it seemed like a sleepy tape. There's a lot going on today. This is Apple. They're getting a lot of good publicity from their Apple Vision Pro, but they're going to report earnings next, Wednesday? Yeah, the first. So, just, is it the first? I think it is. Anyway, no, it's Thursday. Anyway, they're going to report earnings next week. And, bounced off to 200. It looks pretty good, actually. Microsoft, this is one of the few stocks, quite a few stocks it's up against this 400 and it's meeting resistance here at the round psychological Jesse Livermore 400. It's a ghost of Jesse Livermore 400. But he did say that stocks that go through a round number and, rip through it can usually trade higher. So maybe look for a 10% move from Microsoft. They report earnings next Tuesday, a week from today. So, yeah, look for a move to 440, a nice 10% move, break out from this consolidation here. Why not, right? You got to think positive, especially with the market doing what it's doing here. This is Meta. It looks like it just had an inside day today. Yeah. So, nice healthy day, up nearly 1%. Meta platforms, that's what I'm talking about. This stalling, the being cautious. I saw quite a few of these, inside candles today. Still up slightly, nearly 1% for Amazon, but not really blasting higher or selling off, just kind of stalling. Google, kind of the same thing. Above all its moving averages, though. Really, that's a breakout here from that 139, broke higher, and now just, kind of going sideways here the last 3 sessions or so. Nothing wrong with that. Meta, Amazon, Google, okay, Tesla. Tesla, finally did not make a lower low today. Significant in that yesterday the low was 206.27. Today the low is 207.75. Maybe it stopped going lower. They report earnings tomorrow, the 24th. And then NVDA, this was one that I was watching all day today. Well, not all day. I was doing other stuff, but I was keeping mindful of because it's having trouble at the 600. Like Microsoft at 400, we've got NVIDIA here at 600, and it needs to blast through that psychological barrier there. So, investors got to be willing to pay more than $600 for NVIDIA, and that's the last of the Magnificent Seven. I want to take you down the negative road and then bring you back on the positive path, because the largest home builder reported this morning, pretty good report. They just said that they're providing more incentives for new homes, for people to buy newer homes, which I don't know. I don't see that around my area. They're building a lot, but anyway, it's sliced. It's 10 and the 21, pulled back nearly to its 50 there, of 141.51 was the low today. So it came very close. But you can see the RS line pointing south, and when a stock that I own does that, I want to either trim or just get rid of the entire position, because it's probably going to have more follow through to the downside with a bar like that. And it's going to be opportunity cost. I'd rather, if I bought it here at 130 and I held it all the way up and sold at 143, that's fine. I'll just take it and move it into another stock that I think will perform better, because I don't want to sit through a cup like this, a base, which it's probably going to base here, and unless it rallies right back up, but I kind of doubt that with that type of bar. Yeah, in probabilities in the market, we're dealing with probabilities. The probabilities are it's going to form a base here. Lennar, down on volume, because D.R. Horton's the largest of all these, so its slice is 21. Maybe it forms a base, I don't know. Toll Brothers, yeah, this is not looking good. I'm not saying these things have completely topped, but they're probably going to form a base and they're going to stall for a little while. So if you like to sit through bases, and just hold and have conviction, that's fine. This is Builder. First Source just pulled back to its 21, found support, still closed at the lower, lower quadrant of its daily range. So not a good day for Builder and all the home builders. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to take you down that negative road and bring you back on the positive path. I'm going to go to the semiconductors first. Not real positive today, just kind of a stall day. Waiting for, Texas Instruments reports tonight, ASML tomorrow morning, and Intel on Thursday. So there's going to be some more data points. Lisa Su in Advanced Micro Devices reports next Tuesday. So we'll hear from her soon enough. AVGO, Broadcom, this is one that had this ascending base pattern. Looks really good to me. It was up $5 today, or 0.5%. I believe this thing wants higher and higher prices. SMCI, another one of these, it's in bed with the AMD and NVIDIA and Intel, and this one it wants higher prices. I'm sorry. Real heavy volume here coming in. They report earnings on Monday, I believe Monday. Yeah. Monday's the 29th. So they have this game where they raise guidance and then come in and beat the raised guidance. We'll just have to see what they have to say. To me, on that bar yesterday, it went up to 485. I think that's a area that is going to revisit, at some point pretty soon. I'm not saying this week or next week, but 485 is definitely an area that I think that it will get to. If we look at the weekly, we could see that breakout, last Friday, and then follow through this week, already up 8%. So Super Micro looking good, definitely on the positive path. Okay, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna go to our cybersecurity stocks, CrowdStrike, because this one's like NVIDIA and Microsoft and the Dow Jones running up against a large round number there at 300. And just got rejected yesterday and didn't quite make it up there today, 299.70. So it'll, as these moving averages climb higher, it's going to make another attempt through that 300 level. I'm saying usually the third time's a charm. How about that? These flags are all the targets I have on it. So that's when you see those on these charts, that's all that is. Zscaler made a new high today. It's doing better than CrowdStrike right now because it's not as extended. It is 4.8% above that green line, which is the 10, but continues making, higher highs. Zscaler looks very strong. Palo Alto Networks pulled back today after that move to 350 on Monday. Yeah, and the other one that is looking good, I kind of like above the 200 today is Fortinet. It had this gap down after earnings, then gap down on November 3rd after earnings, and they're going to report on the 6th. So maybe it'll gap up this time, or at least continue to trend higher back towards that, 81 area, hopefully for the longs. Okay, I'm going to go to Datadog because there was a note out this morning. It was downgraded, first of all. There was a note saying that AWS is slowing Amazon, web services. I kind of doubt that. There's a lot of shenanigans going on at earnings time, especially. And, when these notes come out, like AMD was downgraded and ALF yesterday, and they sold off. Today, Datadog was down 3% on a downgrade that may or may not have validity. I'm going to say no. That's not true, but Datadog will report earnings and we'll find out. This is Cloudflare. Broke out of a base, pulled back to the 50 for its first time, was a gift. Traded above that 86.91 yesterday at 87.17 and just pulled back today. This one still looks real good to me. That one is on our ready list. Monday, this one will be coming off because it's moving away from its base here at $216. I had the buy point there at like 189 or something. So it's getting away. And I believe, 220 or so would be an area that, to trim a little bit of Monday. Snow is another one on our ready list. Had a nice day today, 3.27%. Nice move for a snowflake, above these old highs of 202. Very nice for snowflake. So we've had some movers here. AppLovin was on our ready list this morning. Will be again tomorrow. We had an early entry buy point. It was up 3% today, and now it's near, like a standard buy point. I think I had the early buy point in there. I don't know, but you could see big volume coming in. So these software names are looking good. Giga Cloud Technology. This is one that I mentioned, I don't know, last week or a week or so ago when I mentioned that, you can't chase these things. Let it come back to a moving average. And it did. It came back to the 21, bounced yesterday, 4%, another 6% today. So that's nice action for Giga Cloud Technology. All right, I did the semiconductor software. Oh, I know, I'm going to go to retail. Deckers pulled back a little bit today, just an inside day. Like, a lot of stocks just had inside days today. Kind of a quiet, session, caution ahead of earnings. So nothing wrong with Deckers. Elf. Let me see. The only thing with Elf was that it pulled back to its 21 yesterday. It looks like it got support, but oh yeah, the all the inclusion into the mid cap 400 and the selling from exiting the small cap 600, excuse me. The small cap 600 has more funds tracking it, so it sold off. And then it went into the mid cap 400 today. So all that shenanigans is over with. And it really, all it did was pull back to the 21 and find support. So anyway, Elf looks good to me. Abercrombie and Fitch made a new high today in a quiet session, and it just pulled back. Made that high of gosh, it got over 105. Well, good for Abercrombie and Fitch, man. Yeah, I like to see these retail stocks do well. Wingstop, another new high today, looking good. Williams Sonoma, another new high in retail. Man, we spend enough money there. They should be doing well. Nice little cup shape pattern. When was that? December 14th. So that's like a 5-week flat base pattern and a pullback to the 21 with support. That looks pretty good right there for higher prices. Williams Sonoma may show up on our ready list here. Melly was on our list last week, I believe, just pulled away, and now it's just pushing away from its base, and so it's near profit taking time. So that's, you got to say goodbye to that and move on to the next. The air conditioning stocks making new highs today. Train Technologies. I haven't visited these in a while. Modine, another one making new highs today. Very nice. And then my favorite, of these is fixed, pull back to the 21, found support, just riding its moving averages. We like to see that surfing action. Couple more stocks before I go. Not Williams, Waste Management. This stock is trash. It's all trash, and there's big business, big money in trash. Actually, it has a big construction component. Wherever there's construction, there's waste management. And anyway, making a new high today. RSG is another one. Republic Services making a new high. So these pollution control stocks doing very well. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Except I have one more thing. And that is after hours tonight. Netflix had a good report. I was checking the options today, and the weekly calls of $500 were $17. I was gonna buy a couple, but I didn't. And now probably tomorrow they're gonna be about $40. But anyway, that's the way it goes. It's just gambling here. But it's good to see Netflix up 8%. I'm curious to see how much pen action this thing carries tomorrow, because it's kind of a lone ranger in the leisure movie section. I don't think it's going to really move the semiconductors or the technology stocks, but we'll see. I don't know, maybe Disney, or I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. So I'm gonna be surfing the morning for some pen action on some stocks from Netflix. The other one that reported tonight was a semiconductor manufacturing stock, and these guys are notorious for just sandbagging, and they blamed their okay, the report wasn't bad, but they did cite weakness in the automotive section. And so anytime you have hair on a report like that, down 3.5% after hours, I'm not sure if it's gonna, I doubt if it's gonna affect AMD, or no, it's not affecting AMD or NVDA after hours. What it will affect is the automotive. Yeah, there's On Semi down 2.9% after hours. AEHR, the automotive. Okay, that one's up. I don't know how much volume is. MCHP is microchip. Yeah, down 2 something after hours. So this is going to affect the okay, Mobileye, not bad. The yeah, some of the semiconductors that are tied to automotive, and I think the one that's most closely related to Texas Instrument is On Semiconductor. So we're just gonna have to wait and see tomorrow. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. We got lots more earnings reports tomorrow morning. Now remember, don't do anything crazy with this Texas Instrument report, because ASML reports tomorrow morning, and they're actually a bigger semiconductor firm, and Intel reports Thursday. So there's going to be a lot of semiconductors reporting, and I mentioned AMD next Tuesday. So anyway, at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up.